and welcome to the second video in this series of Heroes All. I've worked out now there's going to be about 40 of these, so strap yourself in and settle down. Now, a bit of news, the website has been updated with the 2021 version of Fight Your Own Battles, so you can now download Heroes All and the 2021 version of Fight Your Own Battles, which has been tweaked, all the typos removed. It's good to go. It's there waiting for you. Go to the downloads page on www.fightyourownbattles.co.uk and you'll find it, and it's still free. So there you go. Second bit of news, I've had a couple of emails from people saying that my first video was more like a podcast than a video, but I quite like the style of that, so I'm going to stick with it. Whether I should be calling it a Podvid or a Castio, I don't know. But I like Podvids. So here we go with a Podvid all about the cost and makeup of your Heroes All armies. Now, the basic formation in most armies, of course, is an infantry platoon, and that's what we've got here. In Heroes All, it's 10 figures. That's an NCO with 9 squaddies, 9 infantry, 2 of which carry some kind of crew served weapon, and this is a phrase that you'll see used right throughout the rules. CSW, crew served weapon. In this case it's a light machine gun, 2-man light machine gun, which will be a Bren. The figures themselves cost 1.5 points each, so you've got 15 points for the blokes. The NCO counts as an ordinary squaddy, and the light machine gun will cost you 5, so for 20 points you get 10 men and a light machine gun. Now, if you download the rules for Heroes All, you'll see that actually you don't have to have squaddies at 1.5 points each. You can have poor or green troops if the scenario demands it, and they are a bit cheaper. You can also have kind of veteran / elite type troops, and they're a bit more expensive. In between, you can have figures that are enhanced. So in our particular case, our ordinary squaddies are 1.5 points. If you want them to jump out of an aeroplane or be gunners or engineers, then they cost 2 points. So if you look at the rules, when you download them, there's a whole range of costs for your squaddies, but the basic regular platoon of 10 men is 15 plus whatever weapons you give them. The rifles, grenades and other personal equipment is all free. The light machine gun obviously is an addition. So my 10 men with a light machine gun, 20 points. So if you put 3 platoons together and give them a commanding officer, a CO as we refer to them, then you get a company. This is a basic company, 3 lots of 10 with a light machine gun. 1 platoon has got a light mortar and the other platoon has got, I think, a Piat. Then you get, in effect, your platoons at 15 points plus whatever their weapon costs. Just out of interest, the 2-inch mortar also costs 5 points. The Piat costs 10. If it was an early war anti-tank rifle, that would also cost 5. The commanding officer on the far left here with his assistant don't cost anything. They're free because they're non-combatant figures, so you get them for free. But you can add bits on if you want to. You could add a medium machine gun for 10 points, a 3-inch mortar for 15. There's an observation team here. Now, this is, I mentioned earlier about having squaddies who are enhanced. If you're going to have reconnaissance or observation squaddies, they come at 3 points each. So you're talking 6 points for your observation team. And these would be forward observation officers attached to the company so that the artillery can support them. And here is that artillery. A battery in Heroes All, Fight Your Own Battles, Fight Your Own Wars, is 4 guns. You can have a section, which would be 2 guns, but the whole battery would be 4. These 25 pounders cost you 40 points each, but they do come with a tow and the 5 crew members. So that's pretty cheap going, really. 40 points for one of those, 4 to a battery. And here's the heavy stuff, or medium cruiser stuff actually. These are A9s. 1 tank is a troop. 3 tanks here make up a squadron. 3 squadrons plus a headquarters make up a tank regiment. And here's an A9 CS, close support. So the ordinary A9s with their little 2-pounders will cost you 45 points. The CS version, which has got this 3.7-inch howitzer, costs you 65 points, and that constitutes the headquarters of the tank regiment. Now I could go on and talk about the cost of anti-tank guns and all sorts of other fancy stuff, but I'm not going to. You get the idea. What you basically want to do here is when you download Heroes All, download the codex cards, because every value for every weapon that's going to appear on your table appears both in the codex and in the codex cards. And the idea is that if you're using an A9 cruiser on the table, then you simply pull up and use the A9 cruiser card in front of you, so it becomes a quick reference guide. You're not wading through loads and loads of paper, you simply have that card in front of you. In your early games you'll also find you're probably going to need the 2-inch mortar card, the rifle card, maybe the submachine card. But after a while, these sort of everyday weapons like the 2-inch mortars and the medium machine guns, light machine guns, you'll get used to how those work and you won't need to look at them. But you probably will need to look up the A9 cruisers, because they're not the sort of things you use every day. And that's how the whole system works. You can work out the cost of your force by simply pulling up the cards and adding all the numbers together. Now, obviously you can compose your force exactly how you want. I mean, 4 platoons to a company, 3 companies to a battalion, 2 battalions to a brigade. You can add on all sorts of other bits of armour, whatever you like. There's no hard and fast rules. All I would say is don't be afraid to look up how things worked in real life and try and copy that. So the idea here is that you could have, for example, a company of infantry supported by a squadron of tanks. So therefore you get 3 tanks, and each one is supported by a platoon, and then you've got your support armour of machine guns, and you might have some artillery attached to the mission. Yes, you may have some anti-tank guns up with the companies that are normally attached to brigade but lent to the company for its operation. The companies themselves, we would normally expect to put 3 companies on a table. As you can see, you're probably only looking at what, 30 men for a company, 3 companies, 90 men, and that would form what we call a battle group. A battle group is, as you'll appreciate, battalion sized. It has all sorts of things bolted on, and the battle group is the key size of force that works when you get as far as fight your own wars. That's a little bit down the road, but bear in mind that Heroes All, fight your own battles and fight your own wars do fit together. So at this stage, get used to the idea that you've got platoons that form companies that form battalions. Those battalions are battle groups, and that will stand you in good stead as you go through these sets of rules. But that's me done for this Podvid. I think I quite like that. I think I'll carry on calling this Podvids. This Podvid's done. The next one we're going to look at the Wargame Day, how that's broken down into moves, bounds, a few of the words I'm going to use going through these videos. That's coming soon. Thanks for joining. Stay safe. See you soon. Look, you know how this works. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and when more stuff arrives, you'll be the first to know.